Monday Night Raw hot takes. Let's go with Roger Murray. Where's Chris Jericho? Eyeball emojis. Chris Jericho. If you are new to WWE in the last 3 or 4 years, you might not have ever heard of Chris Jericho. He was a very big deal for a very long time, but he eventually jumped ship to AEW, and he's been with AEW since about 2019, 2020. So he hasn't been around for a minute. Rumor has it is his contract is up, and he was going to show up at Raw last night. And, well, he didn't. And so now you got a bunch of people who are upset. Wow, there was no Chris Jericho. I'm so mad. And then you got another camp of people that are like, well, WWE never said Chris Jericho was going to show up. So that's on you for getting your expectations too high. Well, it's all about context, my friend. All about context. I actually agree with the people who were upset that Chris Jericho wasn't there. But Chop, WWE never officially said that Chris Jericho was going to show up. But they kind of did. Now, here's the deal. So John Cena, right? He just had a tournament. And some people might have been upset that Edge was not in that tournament. Well, that's unfair. That is unfair to say I'm mad that Edge is not in the tournament, because at no point whatsoever did WWE hint at Edge being a part of the tournament. They never said anything. So when fans got their expectations up for Edge, well, that's on them. WWE didn't do nothing to fan those flames. And you're like, well, I didn't hear them say anything about Chris Jericho last night. They did through Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce will, on the regular, usually on a Sunday, promote Monday Night Raw. This is what's going to happen tomorrow on Raw. You should really tune in. And what he did yesterday, or what he did on Sunday, was he said something along the lines, I'm going to paraphrase here, but he literally said the words in his own little promotion of Monday Night Raw, who's going to break the walls down. Chris Jericho's song is literally, it opens up with break the walls down. So, in essence, Adam Pearce, while maybe not an official statement from Triple H on Twitter saying a new era is about to start, Adam Pearce is regularly promoting Raw, and for him to say break the walls down, well, he knew what he was doing. And I'm getting this information now from the YouTube channel Wrestlechop. They made it clear that before Adam Pearce did that tweet, they were 3,000 short of a sellout. So after Adam Pearce made that tweet, or not tweet, I think it's an Instagram reel or a post, they sold out, or they sold 3,000 more tickets. So that tells me that some people might have literally bought a ticket to see Chris Jericho based on Adam Pearce. And you're like, oh, I didn't even know Adam Pearce has an Instagram. Okay, just because you don't know doesn't mean it's still not a thing. Adam Pearce literally implied to the internet wrestling community, because let's be honest, those are the people that are following him. He might want to say, oh, the wrestling internet community is all toxic and stuff, but literally those are the people that are following him, that are making him make money. He then spoke in their language and alluded to the fact that Chris Jericho would be there last night. So if you didn't see Adam Pearce's post, well, then you don't have a right to be mad that Chris Jericho wasn't there. However, if you did know about Adam Pearce's post, then you do have a right to be mad, in my opinion. You see, it's all context. Nothing is ever black and white. People want to point the fingers, go, oh, it's all the internet community's fault, or it's all WWE's fault. Well, in this case, it's a little of both. Basically this. Adam Pearce alluded to the fact that Chris Jericho was coming. Anybody in their right mind would think that it was Chris Jericho. Now, you could argue it was a Stranger Things themed show, and the Demogorgons will, they kind of rip a hole in walls, so you can do that, but, let's be real here. Adam Pearce knew what he was doing, all right? This is the dude who has rickrolled people on the internet. Therefore, he knows how the internet works. Therefore, when he said break the walls, he knew exactly what he was doing. So either we say, yeah, okay, my bad, I shouldn't have got the expectations up high, or Triple H has to punish Adam Pearce for misrepresenting Raw to people. It's just simple as that. So just always remember, people, it's all about context. Don't just say, oh, the internet is just acting like babies. WWE never said something, because they did. WWE did say something through Adam Pearce. Tracy Woods says, my favorite moment tonight is when Punk hit Paul Heyman. I very much enjoyed the show. I'm glad Punk won. I like Braun Breaker, but giving him the belt now feels too easy of a way out for creative. Well, we disagree. However, that's fine. I'm glad your guy won. Like, me not wanting CM Punk to win, honestly, I actually like CM Punk, but me not wanting CM Punk to win should not take away from your enjoyment. I'm not here to spoil your party. However, at the same time, I am here to talk about my views on what things are. So, Tracy Woods, very happy for you that your guy won. We just don't agree on this situation, but oh God, heaven forbid we don't agree on every single detail in life, right? Like, Tracy, how are you going to even continue watching this channel if we don't 100% think alike? Like bots. We must have a hive mind. No, we're allowed to disagree, people. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to, like, straight up not agree with me. But it goes in reverse too. It's okay for me not to agree with you as well. We can still enjoy wrestling together. Such a crazy concept. And for the record, I was not directing that at Tracy Woods. I was directing that at every single person, because I've had people literally say, like, Chop, you're just crashing out all the time. It's like, yeah, okay. I promise you I'm not crashing out just for the views, because here's the deal. I also praise the product. So the people who come here for my crash outs, they get equally mad at when I start praising the product. Just as the people who are like, oh, I love Chop, he's so positive, they get mad at me whenever I go, when I start critiquing, because then they're like, oh, you're just like everybody else. Like, literally, I can't win for losing. So I have equal amount of haters as I do people who like the positivity. But see, I just call it how I see it. Kid Wilkes says, I love that the show started with a match, as the opening promo is getting redundant. All right. Yeah, no matter what, it's always nice to change things up. So I didn't mind. I didn't mind for sure. We got Caryville. You know what I don't want, though? Oh man, I hate when they walk in nowadays. I didn't mind it at first, but now that I see everybody walking in, that annoys the crap out of me. If I see a wrestler in the building at any point throughout the night, I'm going to assume they walked in the building at some point earlier in the day. I don't need to see them walking anymore. All right, Caryville T-Rex says there was no point in doing a collab with Stranger Things, had no meaningful impact on the show. Well, I mean, okay, so from a WWE perspective, yes, there was no point whatsoever. But from a Stranger Things perspective, there was, in that, I mean, just think of it as a paid advertisement. Like, literally, it's like when DoorDash does a paid advertisement. Let's take a moment now and talk about DoorDash. Netflix paid them to advertise that show. It was just an advertisement, not a collab. Lucas Brown says, Liv and Lyra cooked. I hope they run it back soon and give them more time, or Liv rocks and Bailey Lyra next week. I wouldn't mind if they ran it back, but I only really want them to run it back if there's a story. I'm kind of over just these really good bangers. I know that sounds like sacrilege, right? Sacrilege. I don't need to see these banger matches all the time. I need to see banger storylines, because guess what? Those banger storylines will then get me invested in the matches. And then if there's a banger match accompanied with a banger storyline, then that banger match is even more. It's like banger of bangers. So, like, I'm all for another match between Liv and Lyra, but only only if there's a really juicy storyline to go with it, because they did have a good match yesterday. But just imagine how much more we would be invested, everybody would be invested, if there was some kind of drama attached to it. Goat Buggy says, I know Punk was going to win, and it's just not Braun Breaker's time yet until WrestleMania comes around. Oh boy, that's fine if you feel that way, but I reject that notion that we gotta wait to crown somebody at WrestleMania. I'm an old man yelling at a cloud. I remember when Mick Foley was literally crowned his first championship ever after a long storied career on a pre-taped episode of Raw, which coincidentally was the first Raw of a new year. And I don't know. That was a turning point in the Monday Night War. It's a very memorable moment. I do not feel you have to wait to WrestleMania to become champion. That's just how I yelling at a cloud here. Hey, Cloud! Hey, Cloud, we don't need to wait to WrestleMania to crown Braun Breaker. STR Game Take says, I gave WWE one last chance. I thought I'd be mad when Braun couldn't win clean. Imagine my anger when I found out he didn't win at all. I'm out. Sorry. Yeah. You know, on one hand, I don't feel like you should quit just because your guy didn't win. But then again, I do understand to a certain perspective. I was watching yesterday. I crashed out. I was like, oh my God, this, like, how? It's like, I already know the narrative. Well, Braun Breaker's a rookie, so he has to learn from his mistake and win it at WrestleMania. Like, I understand. We can, like, justify it any way we want. Like, we can literally justify it any way we want, but I don't, like, that's the key. Justify. We shouldn't have to justify. Braun Breaker should be the champion right now. So I understand where you're coming from. I'm not quitting, so, like, feel free to keep watching the channel. I'll keep you updated, and I'll let you know when Braun Breaker finally wins at WrestleMania, 48, 50, 53? When does he turn 40? Because I don't think he has too much of a shot until then, apparently. Tis Mickey, sigh, I wanted to like this show, I really did, but honestly, nothing really happened, and I really wish they would have given Braun the championship, because I do not want to see that match up again. Yeah, I bet they do what they did last year. Remember, Jey Uso lost, and then a week later he won the Rumble. So, like, I would not be surprised if Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble, so he can then go to WrestleMania, and they'll be like, see, that's why he needed to lose, so he could win the Rumble, and then he could win. Nope, that's not what needed to happen. He could have won the title last night. However, I will say that I honestly don't even know if that's going to happen, because my pick is Roman Reigns winning. So maybe Braun wins the Elimination Chamber. But either way, didn't need to happen, and I don't really want to see this matchup again. Braun Breaker couldn't beat Punk, even with his entire faction, the Vision. So why do I care if if they fight again? But Chop, you're missing the point. He was a rookie who made a mistake, and he learned from his mistake. Therefore, nah, I don't care. Braun Breaker, 28-year-old Braun Breaker cannot defeat 47-year-old CM Punk. It's just what it is. That's what I was told last night. So maybe 27-year-old Obafemi can, because 27-year-old Braun Breaker cannot. RKO says, honestly, Raquel carried the show for me, or else this would have been a 5 out of 10 for me. I agree. Raquel was she was my MVP of last night. The matches were fine. The matches were okay. I liked Becky Lynch and stuff throughout it, and yeah, again, good matches, but I see good matches all the time. Literally every week has a good match. I see the word banger so much nowadays, and it's I loved, though, my favorite part was Raquel. The one time there was not a match where there was actual progression of story, that's what I was like, yes, that was my favorite part. Raquel, to me, the best, brightest spot of last night. I'm with you, RKO. I gave the show a 6 out of 10. But that's because of the ending. If Braun Breaker would have won, honestly, I probably would have gave it an 8. LT says, I love Becky Lynch. She's the greatest female athlete of all time. And it's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. The Bleacher Report says it. And I say it. Wrestlechop says it. Becky Lynch, the greatest of all time. But why did she need the belt back? She did her job, elevated the title. Now's the time to let the title elevate some other stars. I will tell you this, LT, that's a very valid and fair critique. I'm happy that she got it back, but if she had not, then that would have also been okay. We are on opposite sides of the decision here. I'm okay with it. You're not. But that's okay because, like I said, you have a very, very valid point. Now, here's the deal. If we're just going to let Becky feud with AJ Lee at WrestleMania because it has to happen at WrestleMania, and then AJ Lee wins, then it's like, did we need to do that? We could have let somebody else be elevated like a Maxine Dupree. However, if then AJ goes to feud with Roxanne Perez, well then, okay, that's a kind of a cool thing because then AJ can use the belt to elevate someone like Roxanne. I say Roxanne Perez because Roxanne Perez is she's like the wrestling daughter of CM Punk and AJ Lee. She very much close to them. So it seems like you can have a Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio kind of feud with AJ and Roxanne Perez. But again, you have a very valid point. Eddie Mania, CM Punk should retire. He's literally washed. And Kevin Nash is right. Was Kevin Nash right? Kevin Nash made a comment on the internet the other day saying, well, why is CM Punk wearing a t-shirt? That's a red flag. Usually when a wrestler wears a t-shirt, it's because they're out of shape, or they had surgery, or they're trying to sell merchandise. And so the fact that CM Punk did not have a shirt last night means to me he was trying to sell merchandise when he wore a shirt 2 weeks ago. I don't think CM Punk's washed. I don't think CM Punk should have won last night, but I don't think CM Punk is washed. I still think he has a lot to offer. I would start saying, though, that I would like him out of the title picture. And him to just start being in feuds with people, kind of like Sting in AEW. Like, we all want to dogpile on AEW, but they've done a couple things right, and Sting's career in AEW was one of the things that they did right, and WWE could learn something on how to treat some maybe legends who while still have stuff to offer, maybe shouldn't be in the main event, if that makes sense. Millennial Noob says it was underwhelming, no storyline advancing like Asuka and Io's Skies. Honestly, I think Triple H now thinks that Asuka losing the tag team titles is advancing the storyline. On some level it is, but it's still not. Because now you can be like, well, now the Kabuki Warriors, they're mad that they lost the title. But I don't know, that just seems like a given. In Triple H's head, he did advance the storyline. Chief TV says the first 3-hour SmackDown was better than the Raw Stranger Things. Once again, Triple H overhyped and underdelivered. Okay, so hey, guess what? I will take any opportunity to make fun of Triple H at this point, because Triple H has let me down time and time again throughout 2025. He did a great job 2023, 2024, but not 25. However, I think you're being a little unfair to Triple H in this situation. The Stranger Things thing, well, that's probably just a Netflix thing. They're trying to appease their network. I mean, when WWE was on the USA Network, they used to promote the lamest USA shows because they were on the USA Network. Netflix probably just has something in the contract that, hey, if we ever want you to promote one of our shows, you got to promote one of our shows. So the Stranger Things hype, that's not Triple H's fault. Also, what about the overhyped underdeliver? I mean, he is a promoter. I don't fault Triple H for saying this is going to be the greatest Raw of all time, because that's what he's supposed to say. I would actually fault him if he ever came on and said this is going to be the 58th greatest Raw of all time. No, he should always promote every Raw as the greatest. Go Buggy says, did AJ Styles really punk out Gunther? And after AJ Styles hit Gunther, he should have put him to sleep and not stand there like a dummy. That's what they do nowadays. Did you notice that nowadays it's like, even Trick Williams, I love the Trick Williams promo on Friday, but what happens is the babyface usually walks away. At some point during the interview, the babyface walks away while the heel just stares at him and like, wow, whoa, whoa, I'm gonna get you. Trick did it, Gunther did it. It's like they do it over and over and over again. Brian Souza says WWE is allergic to letting a guy born in the 90s win a world title. Braun is 99% sure winning the Rumble. I think it's gonna be Roman. I'm hearing rumors that Roman is not so keen on Hollywood, which is good because, you know what? Bring Roman back. Roman is one of the only people left with sway enough to combat Triple H. But yeah, nobody in the 90s. Here's another thing AEW is good at. Letting people born at any stage, win the title. Like Swerve Strickland. How old is Swerve? How old is Hangman Page? I don't know, but they're young, right? But they're still willing to push older guys like Samoa Joe or give the belt to MJF. If you don't know who any of these guys are, it doesn't matter. What matters is how old they are. They're all over. They're all over in age, from 40-year-olds to 30-year-olds to 20-year-olds. But WWE is 40-year-olds to older 40-year-olds. And I hate that I have to just keep saying this, but like WWE is the one that ingrained it into me that 40 is too old. Going back all the way to the Attitude Era, WWE used to make fun of, go back and watch the Billionaire Ted skits where Hogan and Macho are being made fun of for being in their 40s. WWE sold me this idea years ago that 40 is too old to go. Now, there's a world of difference between a 40-year-old AJ Styles and a 40-year-old Hulk Hogan, but the fact remains, the youngest person to win a championship in the last, 10 years is Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was the last under 30-year-old to win the championship. That was forever ago. And I'm not even talking The Fiend. I'm talking when he beat John Cena at an Elimination Chamber. You can give the belt to CM Punk, but you can also give the belt to Braun Breaker. I'm not saying it's this or that, but I am saying it's this and that. Raina Rep says, why are they still using the Jay's theme for the Usos when their song as a tag team is basically the same thing, but doesn't only reference one member of the team? Such a D move to Jimmy. I agree, it is a very D move to Jimmy. Jimmy, oh my gosh, it's they love to undermine Jimmy so much. And which is not hilarious, but is hilarious because he's the better Uso in my humble opinion. But that said, you knew they were getting together. You could have easily rewrote Jey Uso's song to make it for both of them. It's not that big of a deal, and yet they don't. So you're right, D move. Obel Goble says, all that hype for Stranger Things themed Raw, and they couldn't even get one actor from the show to be in the crowd? Yeah, you would think. I don't, it doesn't bother me, honestly, that nobody was in the crowd, but I don't know. I guess I just saw it as an advertisement as opposed to a crossover. I still have flashbacks for that when they had a zombies surrounding a Miz and Damian Priest match. I would much rather not have a bunch of Demogorgons in a lumberjack match. Well, then again, maybe I would. Because that would be kind of sweet. I don't know. I guess it didn't bother me. Because I just saw it as an advertisement. When they had the giant, Cinnamon Toast Crunch at the the giant Cinnamon Toast Crunch at Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio's matchup, which, fun fact, that was Sol Ruca. But, yeah, I guess I didn't want any Demogorgons, or I didn't need an actor. Remember when, I think AEW had an actress one time from, like, Queen of the Ring or something, and she basically looked in the camera and was like, I didn't know wrestling was fake. If that's the kind of actors that were going to show up, like... If you don't love wrestling, then I'm okay with you not being a part of wrestling. Rex Storm says, I want Chris Jericho to return and beat CM Punk and Cody Rhodes on the same night. That would actually be kind of funny based upon the fact that he beat Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the same night. I don't want that because honestly, I'm okay. I want Jericho to return for one final run, but at the same time, he falls in the same category of over 40. So I don't want Chris Jericho to be the guy that beats CM Punk for the title. I want Braun Breaker to be the guy that beat CM Punk for the title last night. Drexel Dragon says, hope you guys enjoyed CM Punk's final match until Mania. The champs hardly wrestle anymore. Their job is to open the show and say, what do you want to talk about? Or, isn't it great to be alive on a Monday night? Yeah, unfortunately, you are sadly correct. I could see both of them defending one more time, maybe. Like, big maybe. Obviously, Cody versus Drew this Friday, but, like, for the most part, and it's like everybody. Look at Jade. Jade hasn't defended her title. Last night was CM Punk's first title defense. Cody Rhodes won the title at SummerSlam, and then he went away for, like, 6 weeks. Like... okay, that's how we do things. Like, it blows my mind. Oh, Chop, you're so negative. Yes, I'm the reason. I am the problem here. Like, I am the problem with WWE, not WWE, me, Chop. King Shuta says, so, glazed or frosted honey buns, chat? Ooh, if we're talking like a Cinnabon, well then frosted. But if we're just talking like kind of donuts or something like that, I mean, I know you said honey buns, but I'm going to say glazed. I love a good glazed donut. I probably shouldn't have said that. Shoop says, if Braun Breaker lost, hopefully Drew wins the title on Friday. Yeah, you would think Vince McMahon would do that. He would suddenly look at his champions and be like, every champion's a heel? Make him lose because we can't have every champion a heel, or vice versa. So I'm hoping that if Braun lost, that means Drew wins, but let's be honest, Cody's got to get to WrestleMania with that title for whatever reason. Comet of Doom says, I remember a time where each episode of Raw and SmackDown felt like an actual episode of TV show because they would have a storyline that ran through the entire episode. Do you remember those days, Bacon Boss? Yes, I do. I fondly remember those days. That's what I was talking about earlier. I just, like, I don't know. WWE, Triple H has done a great job of making us forget that wrestling is about storylines. I just don't think people even comprehend that. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? When I say that wrestling is about storylines and not wrestling? 0 F's given. That's a funny name. Meh. Don't even want to watch anymore. It's so lame, like Punk and Cody. I'll still be here. If you want to, if you need your fix, I'll be here, and I'll let you know when it starts to get red hot again. TTJC says, the only thing I enjoyed was Liv winning my Vecna shirt, Raquel destroying Stephanie, Javon signing to Raw, and the food in that very specific order. TTJC was at the show. I forgot to mention Javon Evans, and it's like, why did we have the Javon Evans signing on a commercial break? That was weird to me. Way to make this guy feel like a big deal. The commercial break. And then also the Y2J cheers during Liv's first match back was super disrespectful. I hated it. I agree there. We should not, the Liv Morgan match, it wasn't boring. So it's like, don't hijack their show. Don't hijack their matchup. I don't care if WWE was in the right or wrong about promoting or secretly promoting Y2J. You still got to be respectful the wrestlers themselves. Their match was definitely not boring, so the fans need to know when and where to show their displeasure on things, and I don't feel any of the matches warranted that last night. So I agree with you there, TTJC. Very disrespectful. And then the Black Sheep says, still no Royal Rumble storylines. I know. Triple H probably doesn't think the Rumble doesn't need a storyline, which is false. Like, part of the best thing about the Royal Rumble is the multiple storylines going into it, and yet here we are. It's probably going to be a 2-week build to the Rumble, and that's it. Those are your hot takes. Boys, girls, thank you very much. See you tomorrow.